Is a JEE Advanced 2026 syllabus. Hope the same will remain in 2027. So considering this, we have this chemistry, physics, and so many other chapters. So we'll be just seeing one by one what all things we have to study. It's a huge syllabus, you know. These are just the headlines upon which you will be asked the questions. So we'll refer those questions as well. So as if any newbie who is like starting their syllabus, just see how much they have to study. It can't happen in a single point of time. It requires time. It requires time, and it'll have to devote it. So just see. So if we talk about chemistry, we'll have to start from chemistry. Let's go one by one, right? So here you just see is the syllabus. General concepts, you should be understanding the very basis of the chemistry, the very basic one. And what's that basic? Is that you have the understanding of atoms and molecules. You have the understanding of stoichiometry, how to balance chemical equations, oxidation reduction, how does it happen in the real world scenarios. So displacement reactions, what they are called, molality, molarity, fraction, normality, what these are called. So after studying, of course you'll be able to understand all of this. You would be able to make us understand. So isn't it interesting? So interesting. Like that only, states of matter. Have you ever imagined how the surface tension, vapor pressure, diffusion of gases, all these van der Waals equations are getting into the real world use? When we'll study, of course we have to study it for the exams. At the same time, if the same learning gives us a very exciting and curious answers to our questions and so many explanations how the world uses these principles today, it will just great. This is one thing. See, so many people have given their models, how wave particle duality exists, quantum mechanics you would have learned. So of course the basis will begin from quantum numbers. So understanding this will help a lot. So internal structures of the atoms, we have made orbitals, we have not made, we have just identified, named them as orbitals, and how Pauli's exclusion principle. So all these things are to be studied. Mostly all these things we do study in our class 12 standard, class 11 standard actually. So yeah, let's get back to the next one. Chemical thermodynamics, here how heat exchange is happening, what's the enthalpy, and what's the Gibbs energy. So many things, how equilibrium is taking place. So like what is Kp, Kc, delta G, Bronsted and Lewis concepts. Electrochemistry, we have how electrolysis is happening, how fuel shells, corrosion, batteries. So these days is the if some days you get to work in the EV industry, you'll have the understanding, or else just JEE Advanced requires you'll have to study. Half-life, first order equations, Arrhenius, catalyst, raw, so many things have to be studied, right? So let's go fast. In the solid state, we have these many things. Solutions, we have how liquid solutions are happening, surface chemistry, colloids, elementary emulsions, physio, classification, so periodic table, enthalpy, hydrogen, water heavy, S block, we have derived, it's a separate block of the elements in the periodic table. See, and then all those things in very much detail, group by group, we'll be studying those compounds and their nature, their reactions and all. So group 18. The same things nearby, their chemical properties, the reactivity towards hydrogen, oxygen, the same things. The same goes for D block, and then we have our F block elements, and then coordination compounds. So you already have the understanding of CFT. If not, we'll get into so many things have to be studied. It will once go into your mind. Of course, you'll retain it for some time, and that's how. So, and upon recollection, once you study with so much depth, of course, someday somehow it will get into your memory. But I mean, it's a very strange thing that we have to study all these things without having the straightforward and clear path in the future. Anyways, so everybody does it. We can't change the system as of now just by thinking, right? I mean, maybe any of you just get to that position after some time, and then you make some policy level things, right? So here we have group 1 to 5 C, nitrates, carbides, environmental chemistry. This is very interesting thing, and atomicity, compounds, etc. It's still not completed. We have move on to the compounds that are made of hydrogen and carbon, so hydrocarbons, and that too in so much detail, right? C, amines, carboxylic acids, C, ethers, alcohols, alkyl halides, haloarenes, biomolecules, polymers, chemistry in everyday life, right? So much our physical things are associated with this. Well, the same goes for relation function. We have to study algebra, we have to study logarithms, we have to study probability statistics, we have to study matrices, determinants, adjoint, in that trigo in very deeper level, and then we have equations of the straight line, 2D chemistry, and then 3D chemistry, differential equations have to be studied, and then integral calculus, though it's just few words that's been written, but it's a humongous ocean, to be studied and to practice and to really make yourself able to solve any kind of newer problems and apply the concepts and think and imagine, and having an analytical ability that will come with the time. But the basic knowledge upon which everything is based, the terminology, the understanding, the principles, the solutions, all these have to be studied. Jump onto the physics. So talking about the physics part, we also have lots of things, vernier calipers, so these are the very practical things. Everything of the physics will always be in use around you, and whatever just feed you go in, so not just everything that like if you tomorrow choose computers to be a computer science engineer, maybe these things are not coming directly into your use, but at least the way you are studying all these things and holding your concepts, you'll learn how to at least grasp the concepts, because the thing is around that. So here we just finish our intro. I mean, just a look back and overview of the things we have to study it. We just had an understanding that there are a lot of things that should be studied, and if I just show you, I'll just show you next question paper as well. Just let me add that, right? So it's a humongous things. It needs planning, it needs patience, it needs everyday study, and that too with the joy. So it's not like that you can just take it, that you will be just copying the things. You'll have to make an understanding, so that tomorrow, like you are able to understand my words, you will be able to understand these words as well, right? So these things that you are able to understand took training, even when you didn't plan, and somehow society, the parents, the family just taught you, right? And you also observe things and just learn like that only. This is the essence, that you have to make understand yourself, that if you are studying, you study with focus, that tomorrow you are going to a good college, right? Good college means wherein you'll be studying with the really real world ongoing research things, so much latest real understanding, because why I'm saying this, because when I did my engineering, it's like, I mean, we didn't have the real world that what things are going in the real world. So there were no so many things, because that the college didn't have so much of those resources. Of course, the way we study, we are taught, I mean, that just a different way. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. Just hope that you got a bit excitement and a real responsibility in your head, that how much you have to study. Well, We'll meet in the next video. Thanks a lot, and just keep the focus.